Okay, in this video, I'm going to cover how the human mind likes to play tricks on us when it comes to dealing with other humans, especially in stressful situations such as putting out fires in your business. And if you don't know who I am, my name is Cameron Russell, and I am currently running a video marketing agency based in Vancouver. I make these videos as I want to document the journey on how we are growing, as well as I like to talk about health optimization and growth in general. So basically, I just kind of had a interesting series of events happen to myself, which have been building up over the past couple weeks, which have come to an end now, and just right now, and I wanted to shoot this video as it is fresh on my mind, and it's very symbolic to a lot of patterns that, or a pattern, single pattern that plays out multiple times throughout my career so far. And I know this doesn't just show up in my business, but also shows up in my personal life. And I also know that you have experienced this as well. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about the overthinking of a situation, call it a problem sometimes, a risky or delicate or taboo situation that you feel is worse off than it is. Okay, let me give you an example. Let me give you the example that I just went through. We are, like I mentioned, a video marketing agency. We provide video services, and one of the services is managing and editing YouTube videos. Now, really, all we do is talking head style videos, and so anything outside of that really isn't in our category. However, we were going to take on a client that had more than just talking head style videos, and upon further discovering that their videos weren't just talking head style, because we were still kind of flushing out our offer, and I didn't do my due diligence to ask what kind of videos they really were. We were just, yeah, cool, we'll do it, right? And once we received them, we looked at that and I was like, this really isn't something that we want to take on. And I think there is an important lesson there that being okay to say no to business and rejecting it, I think that does two things. It clarifies what you don't want as an agency, and it gets you clearer on what you do want and keeps you focused. But then two, it gives a lot of respect a lot of the time to the client to say, hey, listen, you trusted me with your business, and I could have just went and tried to do this for you and not given you the best service. But I am being honest and saying, listen, I don't want your money, hence because we don't feel like we can deliver. That's another thing. However, because this is the case where we aren't going to be performing this, and I already told the client that we would be doing it, obviously, here's what goes through my mind, similar to what I think a lot of people listening have experienced in some shape or form. You've made some sort of commitment or set some sort of expectations with an individual. Maybe it'd be an organization. The stakes might be higher, lower, whatever. And this can be in your business. This can be with a girlfriend, a partner. This can be with a friend, whatever it might be. And after making that commitment, you realize that you can't uphold that commitment to whatever degree. It doesn't really matter what it is. In our case, we didn't believe that we could do our best work with this. Hence, we need to now go back to the client and say, hey, this isn't something that we can do. Now, to make matters slightly worse, we were delayed in really assessing if this was something that we wanted to do, meaning we got the initial folder of raw footage, and we didn't really make a decision until 2 weeks later after receiving it, to then, which, going back to the client, we were a little bit late in my mind specifically. And so what does this do? Well, this instantly, for me at least, creates this picture that the situation is worse off than it actually is at this point in time, right? I haven't talked to the client, but my mind is starting to build these stories up in ways and shapes that aren't congruent with the current reality, okay? And so I start to make these justifications as to why the client is gonna be mad that we can't take this on, and that, it's been 2 weeks and we haven't done anything for them, and X, Y, and Z. And so, I need to send the message, and funny enough, they actually reached out to me asking what the status of it was. And so that kind of led to another bubbling of the situation in my mind. And so I sent back an email. I was very thorough about it, and I also provided an alternative solution, but I still felt like there wasn't enough to justify them not being mad for whatever reason. And so from the moment that I sent it to the moment that they actually sent back an email, it's been on the back of my mind, and I've been feeling stressed about it. And same thing for anyone out there, like until you get hit with what reality actually is, you're staying in that bubble of something, of what it is in your mind versus what it is in reality. And again, this can be something to do with a partner. A lot of the time when the more emotion involved, the easier it is to have this kind of feeling, right? But in our case, it was with a client. And so this morning, I was really dreading to open my inbox to see, because we were doing other work for her, and a lot of work. So I didn't want, this is the other thing, is like I didn't want her to see this as, oh, we can't deliver, and then pull out on all of the work. And so when she actually emailed me, because I went and tried to find her a solution, I opened it. I'm like, I just need to look at it. I just need to get this over so I'm not stressing all day. I looked at it, and lo and behold, she was happy. She was like, thank you for being honest. Thank you for going above and beyond and finding an alternative. Thank you for already reaching out to them, which I did. And she appreciated what we've done. And it just goes to show that how much your mind can play tricks on you. And really, that's the moral of the story, is that always try to get back to the objective reality. And so what I left out in this story was, as I was going through these stressors, because I've noticed this pattern in my life prior. It doesn't happen all the time, but there are certain times in my life and in the careers, or in my career, where these events do occur. So what I was leaving out in this particular event was I was writing down and drilling down as the stress kind of like elevated for certain periods of time, to say, why are you stressed? Why do you think this is? Why do you think that is? Okay, what do you think? What's the worst thing that can happen? And a lot of the time when you really drill down and just focus on it and stare it right in the eyes and really hone in on what is making you stressed out about this whole thing, a lot of the time you can kind of pop that bubble of stress that's being blown out of proportion in your mind, which a lot of the time it is blown out of proportion in your mind, in contrast to what's happening in reality. And so what I would say is, if you're experiencing this, get out a piece of paper and write down why you feel like this is going to occur the way you think it's going to occur. And then question why that is, And then what you want to go ahead and do is ask, what is the worst case scenario that could occur in this event? And once you can see that on paper, once you can visualize that right in front of you, okay, you can then come to terms with that is the worst case if that were to happen. Sometimes it might be a pretty bad case, but if you can at least come to terms with that, if that does become the case, you've now started to digest and understand that, okay? So wanted to shoot this video and just kind of, because these are the areas of business and of life that a lot of people I don't think talk about, and I think are some of the most important areas of life to talk about, because these are the things that really make or break individuals, whether it be you're an entrepreneur, you're a salesperson, you're a high performer, you're just someone that is going through life, because like I said, you probably deal with this with like partners and relationships and parents and X, Y, and Z. But a lot of people don't talk about it. So it's normal to have this. It's normal to have this, ill-conceived situation in your mind versus what's happening in reality, and understand that the ways you can go about it is always trying to get objective, write it out, pull it out of your mind, put it on paper, and then ask, what's the worst case scenario? Is that something I can live with? Yes. Okay, then it can't be that bad. And a lot of the time it's never going to be that, because we're blowing it out of proportion. And confronting it as early as possible. That's another thing that I forgot. Confront it as early as possible. But if you found value in this, if you liked this video, this short, right off the top of my head, riffed, then let me know. Let me know in the comments if you've experienced something like this, and like and subscribe for more content. Like I said, I'm going to be posting more content like this on a regular basis. Till next time, guys, stay learning, stay well, and I'll be talking to you soon.